This video is brought to you by the MTG Tutor, where good players get better. Hey guys, MTG Noob here with a post few games deck recap with the Rug Humans or Rug Delver style deck. Okay, so first and foremost, mana base was very greedy. I really felt like you didn't have enough green sources. It also felt like most of the times the land count felt right, but naming Dryad with Cavern of Souls always felt really bad. Other than that, I think it was pretty good. Maybe one more green source, maybe cut a falls instead of and add a harbor potentially. So the main question is, was the green splash worth it? Dryad plus Huntmaster. I'm gonna go with yes. Um, Outside of that, you're just playing a really bad Delver deck. So the Dryad on turn 2 after you played Delver on turn 1 was just such a powerful start. It was really nutty. And Huntmaster really kept you in games from time to time. So if you like rug style decks, I would definitely consider keeping these guys. And 3 Huntmasters, I believe, is the current number. Alright, the cards that I did not feel were enough of were Vapor Snag. I always felt like I wanted more Vapor Snags and Mana Leak. And now I understand he's got 2 Mana Leak in the board, and they're just horrendous against some matchups, and they're much worse on the draw. But I always felt like I wanted more. I was not impressed with the missteps, but I knew why they're in there, mainly for Infect and Delver. And the gut shots, kind of same deal. Pillars and arc trails. I mean, I really felt like Bonfire was fine, but I felt like he was the deck editor or deck creator. It seemed like he was just really trying to hedge his bet against every matchup. And the thing about that is you can never be good against every single deck unless you're like a brand new deck and you've pinpointed the metagame. So the cards I would add would be probably one more Mana Leak and probably 1 to 2 more Vapor Snags. I also was not impressed by the Phantasmal images. I understand that they're fantastic going like turn 1 Delver, turn 2 Dryad, copy either Flip Delver, copy Dryad. It's also really sick at copying a Huntmaster and, taking out opposing legendary creatures. So it has a lot of utility in the deck, but I was never really, really impressed with it. I kind of felt like Pillar was the worst of the burn spells. I also only played against Zombie once, so maybe it's actually correct. I never like to mess with people's decks until enough games, but if I had to make some cuts, I would say the first cuts would probably be the images, the pillars, and the mental missteps. Now, if you want to leave it, go right ahead. Seems good to me for the most part, but if you don't hit the correct mana for the Dryad on 2, the deck really just feels like a poor man's version of Blue-Red Delver. Alright, let's talk about the board. In the current thing, we're good against zombies with the pillars, so maybe you need to leave these main deck pillars. Ancient Grudge at 3 felt correct. Talrim was very good. I brought him in a ton of matchups. He might be really, really good. I wouldn't say he's worth playing over Huntmaster, but maybe you could swap one of these out for one of these. But I think the mana base is kind of hard to support that. More mental missteps, obviously, you know why at this point, and the 2 mana leaks in the board. These mutagenic growths were actually interesting because a lot of times they would save one of your guys from death against like an opposing bonfire or a burn spell. I feel they're really sick at protecting tolerance. So like if you bring these in, you're against the red deck, you're always bringing these in conjunction with each other. And then finally, the conscripts, I didn't really bring them in too often, but they're actually very good. They're a little bit hard to cast, not because the mana is not capable of getting to 5, but you don't have Thought Scours in your deck, so your card draw is not 12, it's 8, and it's a little bit harder to get to 5 mana with only 21 lands and 8 draw spells. But outside of that, I was pretty happy with the board. I'd probably screw with the main deck first and then adjust the board. There weren't any cards that I was like, oh, geez, I wish I had that card in the deck, but there were cards I wanted to take out. So I definitely have to go back and consider my options. So I would play this deck. It was really fun, and I enjoyed doing some silly things with it. But I would want to tighten up the mana base and a few of the spells in the main deck. Okay, so thanks for watching, and please check out themtgnoob.com.